The grade separated intersection, it really becomes difficult to get those pedestrians across safely. Our final option that we've been looking at this quarter is the roundabout interchange. What this would do, it would add 3 different roundabouts, one at each of the different intersections. And as you can see, we have a single roundabout, and then the Madison and Erie Road intersections utilize a double or teardrop roundabout. What would happen, just like we explained here, traffic from the north coming from 71 could access Duck Creek from here. In the PM, Duck Creek traffic can go around the roundabout and back up. In any of the traffic coming from Duck Creek, take here, they connect with what comes off of Red Bank to Madison here, and they can access Madison Road or free flow down through Madison Road. With this double or teardrop roundabout here, traffic can move freely through on Madison Road or access south, access north, and then from the other side as well. And just like we see with the second option, this really gives you the opportunity for free flow through all the intersections. You're looking at the same thing also down here with Erie Road. One of the things that really has been expressed about roundabout interchanges is that the community is somewhat reluctant to accept them. Basically, I think it's based on it's a new experience. It's something that people haven't had a lot of exposure to. And when you kind of throw that at people, I think the initial reaction is to kind of be a little reluctant to accept that. So that's maybe one of the cons against that. But really, I think that the roundabout would be a unique factor that would maybe give Madisonville something to rally around. It would maybe make them unique, a unique community that people maybe not are drawn in by the roundabouts, but it's something that will maybe pull people out. Another con too, and the same with the tight diamond interchange, is that when you're looking at grade separations, it's becoming considerably more expensive, even with acquiring the property, than just widening one lane. You have to think about the different property that you're going to have to buy, especially with this connector. There's significant property you have to purchase. But even here, with the roundabout, you're going to have to acquire different property on either all 4 corners of Madison Road. The reason that we believe the roundabout is probably the best option right now that we're looking at is that the property is less in these different connectors right here than it would be with the tight diamond interchange. So it's kind of a tighter footprint really for those different types of intersections. So those are our 3 main intersections, and I believe Josh will be talking about some of the other options we looked at.
Okay, as Jordan just mentioned, we covered 3 main options that really looked at the whole expressway. And we also, through different planning groups that were looking at the Newtown site, were more specifically concentrated on the intersection with Red Bank and Madison and what it would do to the Newtown site. So we communicated with them and got hold of a couple of their ideas, and we really wanted to take a look at them and put our opinions down. The first option that is specific to Red Bank and Madison is tunneling Red Bank under Madison and reconnecting Old Red Bank Road. This option does do a significant amount as far as planning goes. It starts to reconnect the old street grid, it creates a nice space, and it passes all the Red Bank traffic under there without really being noticed. However, it's technically a tunnel, safety issues, extreme costs. The elevation of Red Bank Road limits it physically as to what you can do. You really can't lower Red Bank Road because of the culvert that runs under it. So you would be building up that whole area. And we feel that the cost of that is pretty much a prohibitive action. We also were made aware of 2 jug handle options that some of the groups were looking at. The first is a single jug handle, which is extremely similar to what we looked at last quarter, that is going to be implemented at Popple Street, which essentially all the traffic wanting to access Red Bank Expressway would use the jug handle that would guide them through the Newtown site, bringing traffic to the Newtown site, which was their goal with the jug handle. However, we kind of feel that the problem is that you're essentially just moving the intersection from here down to here. and you're not really letting any more traffic pass through Red Bank Expressway than you would with keeping the intersection here. So also bringing an on-off ramp kind of mentality through the Newtone site we don't think is the greatest idea for pedestrians as well. Multiple ramp jug handle kind of creates similar to a normal ramp system, except you only use up 2 of the 4 quadrants. Again, you guide traffic through the Newtone site, but you also end up taking up space from the children's home, and we know that that's a sensitive issue. They don't really want to give up their land. And again, you have the same issue with pushing expressway traffic through a site where you're going to want speeds to be lower because of high pedestrian volume, So we really don't know about the viability of any of these options, but we did consider them. I think right now we're leaning more towards one of the 2 grade separated options for the whole system. Micah, do you want to, Justin?
And the last thing we took into consideration was what the community was looking for in this planning process. And the main thing was to not make Red Bank an expressway or a highway. And Jordan came up with a nice drawing here that shows sidewalks and a median with probably not trees, but maybe shrubbery and stuff like that to kind of give it a more town look instead of the expressway just trying to get to point A to point B, because there will be a lot of businesses along that way. Also, we think, with the bridge, there's a lot of different things you can do with that to make it look nice. You could use brick veneer, you can use a lot of different stuff to help that out.
Yeah, just as you touched on with this cross section that you might see, this is Red Bank Road. Some of these things are optional, but they all are coming from comments we got from the city or suggestions to want sidewalks on both sides, drainage easement, and good shoulder sizes and appropriate lane widths. So some of the sidewalks might not need to be necessary throughout the entire corridor, but this is basically the maximum footprint that we're considering in the design, 114 feet wide. So it's quite significant. Just looking at basically the preliminary drawings, it doesn't take up a whole lot more width than is already there, but it is significant, especially as you farther you go south, you do take up more space and right-of-way acquisition. So, like we said, this is kind of our brainstorming, putting every idea, considering all of the ideas, different feedback from sources. Next quarter, we'll be looking at simulating the entire corridor, looking at the different interchange options, and using a different software package called Vision, and that'll allow us to get some more what we feel will be better results and more accurate, be able to accurately simulate some interchange options that aren't available through HCS software. So for that, thank you for your time, and we'll take any questions you have.